That's Hasler with the Lions. Gibbs. Taken hard by Tessman. Bit of feeling there. They're still at it. Tessman and Gibbs after the play. Now Cleal. He'll keep it alive. Hasler. Lions ball to Hegarty. And Hegarty, what a run by Steve Hegarty. Okay, now the support play from Manly. It's Blake doing it on his own. Cochrane. Melrose puts him down. Blake. Lions. Back to Blake. And Hall finally stops him. Always dangerous. So it's the last tackle. Shearer's kick. A little bit deep.
That's a bit better play by Manly. They've kept the ball alive, but at least they're running onto the ball.
The earlier games, Manly defeated East. East in second place on the competition. But that result, East came from behind for a big win over Manly. Tasman gets the pass away again. Going over the tackle. McGann. Hall. Mackay. Support. Hastings with Simpkins. Another one. Hall gives it to McGann. Hastings. Right in the thick of the action. Back on the blind, it goes to Patterson. Patterson slips through. Here comes Chalice. This man's got a bit of pace. Gurr's down there and he gets him. Marty Gurr stops him. Good run though. Again, East, look at the move here. Hastings, support with Melrose. Johnson, over the top. French back inside. They've had 4 tackles. That's McGann. It goes again to Mackay. They slip it to Prome. You probably saw Roberts' count going up to about 5 before. Obviously Manly touched it in one of those plays. Gilmister on the last tackle. He's seen a gap, but he's lost it. Well, at least from East's point of view, it's a scrum and not a handover.
Well, Manly can think themselves very lucky indeed, because once again the Eastern Suburbs exploiting that blind side. And I get the impression, Jim, that a lot of those Manly players, when they're going on that blind side, they're going there for a rest. They're not moving up. This is really giving it on the plate.
Hasler's got it. Bit of a hole. Look at him go. And Brendan Hall made the tackle. Lions. Shearer. McGann over there, helping Melrose. Lost by Poulsen. Here go East. Here's a chance. That's Hall. He dishes it up to French. Not a good pass. But still an opportunity for East to lead 4-0. Here comes Mackay. The settling charge at Manly. Dragged the defence in. Back to Hastings. Melrose. Patterson a dummy half. Hastings. A bomb. Lottery ball, and it's a try to Patterson. Trevor Patterson's second try. A great bit of opportunism by Eastern Suburbs, with Hastings whacking up the bomb and Trevor Patterson making a great leap for it.
Well, Manly did well here, and in fact Gibbs stopping what would have been a field goal, but Trevor Patterson right up there and fully deserved it. And quite frankly, Eastern Suburbs are really on the boil. It came off Gibbs's back. Not much that Gurr could do about it. It's interfered by the post, but full credit to the second rower, Patterson, in for his second try. And they deserve it. They've been by far the better side. And there's a lot of talking in that Manly side, and don't they need it?
Yep, you spotted that well, Steve-O. Because when Hastings got the ball, I thought he was going to have a drop at goal, but when it went so high in the air, it just looked like a bomb. But it's flicked Gibbs on the way through, and they've gone from 1 point to 6 as a result. Well, they should throw this over. So Eastleigh 10-0. And let's see if that startles the Sea Eagles into some action. Trevor Patterson scored twice.
I'm sure Fulton sent out a lot of words of wisdom. And don't they need it, really? That is bad play. I don't want to take anything away from the Roosters attacking. Good luck to them. They've obviously worked it out that Manly, there's a few players taking a rest on that blind side, and good luck to them.
It's McGann with Chalice. Chalice enjoying this. And a good run. Back over the quarter. Prome there. Hastings. That's Gilmister. Hastings on the clearance. Down to Hegarty. And Hegarty again has a good run back. Beating a couple. Daly. Hasler. That's Blake. Ronson.
It's a relieving penalty for Manly because they really need it. You see the difference in the sides here. Eastern Suburbs moving up, not giving Manly any chance to get that ball. And referee Roberts. Ball in held. Penalty ensued. Well, a very enterprising start, Jim, by the Roosters. They really look fired up today.
There's our Manly cameraman, Rod Finlayson. It's a few years since he played for them, isn't it, Steve-O?
I was still at school.
Offside, inside the 5. And now Cochrane probably have a shot at goal here. He's keen to get up on Manly. Just thinking of that previous penalty when he gave Manly a penalty for, I think it was Prime or Melrose stealing the ball over there. It's one of the interesting things about the Test match, I thought, the other night, that Robin Whitfield really allowed that to go a lot of the time. What our referees normally penalise players for.
Especially when Lewis pinched the ball off the wingman.
Amazing.
Well, this is good play by Manly. Rather than letting go over the 2 points, they've got to get into the swing of things.
So that's Daly, close to the line. It's an awkward pass and they've lost it. No, they haven't. The count starts again, so they're still in with a hope. That's Poulsen. Just 5 metres out. Manly slow to start today. Look at Cleo, he's over! Well, I wouldn't want to stop him from there. It's like trying to stop a truck. Watch him.
He's a big boy. Good switch of play by the hooker. And he really had got his momentum going. He's a strong fellow. And that came about by good captaincy by Cleo. He could have taken the easy option, gone for the 2 points. But he realised that they were going through the horrors, Manly. They had to have the possession and try to get into the swing of things. And what better way to get into the swing than 4 points?
Well, that's Manly's first impact on the Eastern Suburbs side today, really. They were down there earlier in the half and lost possession, and I thought they were going to lose it just before that when Poulsen threw an awkward pass. But they're on the board, and of course very, very dangerous from here. Just a little bit of confidence. They're the sort of side that can go absolutely berserk if they get a bit of room. Cochrane, who's lining up this kick, has scored 154 points so far this year and is a fringe candidate for Kangaroo selection. And his kick is straight, so just 4 points between them. With 13 minutes to go. A pretty warm afternoon here at Brookvale. They scored 54 points, these two teams, in the first round when Manly won 30-24, and we may have a big scoreline ahead of us today.
Certainly looks that way with very warm conditions. Of course, the Manly fans, they always look forward to a Kangaroo Tour year. In fact, 73 and 78 and 82, all Kangaroo Tours, they've made the grand final. Winning 73 and 78, of course, losing in 82. And the fans looking forward to it again.
Look at this. Look at Melrose's kick. Straight past Hegarty.
Who said footballers don't go to sleep?
Hasler. That's Hegarty getting back into the action. Paulson. Cochrane with Cleel. Sets it up for Cochrane. What a run by Mal Cochrane. Tremendous speed. Of course, he played a lot of his earlier football in the backs. Cleel. Look out, Hasler. East have got to make early tackles here. Manly kept it alive. There's a lot of pace there. Blake for the corner. Hastings on the retreat with Chalice. Well, it may have been a pity he kicked it there. They were looking pretty lively with the ball.
Certainly, well, that's the most constructive they've played.
11 minutes left in the first half. East's ahead by 4 points. Mackay missed the man, and Hall covered up. Hastings.
This is the time, Jim, where Eastern Suburbs really don't have to panic. They're still leading by those 4 points, 10-6.
Hastings into a little bit of space behind Hasler. And he's lost it. Now a chance for East. McGann. McGann's got French there. French straight ahead. Support. Mackay looks around. And he lost it. He's called for timeout. There was a clash of heads, I think, there with Mackay going ahead strongly.
Well, Manly can thank their lucky stars that really it was a prop that was backing up on that, because there was open ground there.
See Mackay losing it. And on the ground, Hasler. Got a bump.
Yeah, stray boot, I think.
All right, he recovers. And that's Gibbs. Paulson. Shearer. It's a beauty. It's a beauty from Shearer. He had a look. And the kick just landed inside the line. Manly and East resorting to the kick quite often so far in this game.
So often the pattern of play by most sides this year, Jim. Play down in their half and wait for the mistake.
It's East's first scrum win of the game. Although they did have one before when they got a penalty. Remember that one? Out wide. Here comes Prome. French is there. Gary Prome, what a good run. French, Hall, Gilmister, Hastings. Patterson. Patterson's got Chalice there. Hastings, Mackay. Gilmister. What a pass! Brandon Hall's going to score here. Look at that. What a try to Eastern Suburbs. The 5'8", Brendan Hall backing up beautifully. Gee, you want to see this pass again from Gilmister? It was fantastic.
You won't see any better than this. Freak. Absolute freakish pass. But this youngster, well, he had a good game against Parramatta last week.
He gets better and better every week. Great pace he showed.
Certainly has, and it took quite a while for Arthur Beetson to make the decision to drop Laurie Spina. And I don't think it's just a fluke that East have played better since Brendan Hall has been at 5'8".
Melrose kicks it, and what a handy lead. They lead by 10 with 7 minutes to go in this first half. We'll just see how that'll shake up the Sea Eagles. Their fans have been waiting for a bit of action. They saw Cleel score, but in defence especially, it's been a poor performance by Manly, and East have relished it. They've played well. Shearer, bit of variation. And the try scorer, Brendan Hall, is onto the ball. Simpkins. Hastings. Simpkins again. Mackay. That's Melrose's kick behind Gurr. There's a replacement on for the Manly side, Larry McMillan, who played really well for Manly last week against Penrith. He replaced Richie Poulsen there. That's Poulsen. That's Hasler. They lose it.
That was bad play by Manly there. They really are at 6s and 7s. And mainly due to the fact that this Eastern Suburbs side, they're moving up very, very quickly. They're just not giving them any room whatsoever.
Cleel's gone out into the backs with Ronson off, replaced by McMillan. Johnson's kick almost went into Chalice's hands cleanly. Now it's Hegarty on the way back with Shearer. Eastern Suburbs, a bit of innovation from the scrum. Very nearly came off. And the upshot of it all is a penalty and a march of 10 for Manly. Holding the man down.
Well, they never learn, some footballers. Roberts has given this penalty. They're holding him down. He can't get up and play the ball. So one of them opens his mouth and gives him another 10 metres.
Daly to play it. Lyons with Poulsen. Cleel. What a fend from Cleel. The pass goes to Gurr. Now Lyons. About 4 minutes left in the first half. Manly down by 10. Philip Blake. Oh, he's got the bounce and he scored. What a genius that man is. Phil Blake. They'll love that at Warrington.
They'd love that anywhere, Jim. And this wasn't a fluke. He knew he was going off the side of his boot. Just watch this. He knew exactly where he was going. He gets the bounce. Johnson just too late. It wasn't as though Johnson was out of position. He knew exactly.
Kevin Roberts did well.
Great try.
Roberts was very quick to avoid that. He very nearly headed that one into the net. Phil Blake, that was magic. And Blake finished the game last week with a hamstring twinge. He seems to be okay today. He just picks his moment and bang, something brilliant like that can happen, and all of a sudden it's 4 or 6 points. And Manly trailing by 6 at the moment could win this game and win it well with play like that in the second half. Cochrane's conversion, he's missed it. Well inside the posts. It's 16 to 10, 2 minutes left in the first half.
That will bring a sigh of relief from their coach, Bobby Fulton. Piece of genius by Blake. Puts Manly back into a game that really looked as though it was running away from them. As the Roosters were playing with a lot of confidence. Being led very well indeed by their skipper, McGahn.
Melrose out on the full this time. Well, he went for that long, low kick for touches. He was successful before with, and he found it. Put that one out on the full, and an opportunity for Manly in the dying moments of this half. Steve-O, as we come up to half-time, we've seen a real crowd pleaser so far with 5 tries scored.
Certainly have, but the Roosters have been by far the better side. It's only been 2 pieces of genius that's got Manly on the board. But full credit to them. They've taken their chances, and that's what rugby league's all about.
Marty Gurr. And Manly threaten again. Cochrane, Hasler, Blake, Shearer. Pro missed him. Shearer's still going ahead. Determined stuff from Dale Shearer. And a penalty against French, holding him down. That, in a way, that has stopped the momentum for Manly. The quick play is what they need. Time almost up for this first 40 minutes. Daly. All in a bunch, on the blind, Lions, and Davis scores the try. Wasn't that cunning? They're all in a bunch, really. East should have anticipated it. It was a simple blindside move. And Stuart Davis went over without a hand laid on him.
Well, it's obvious Eastern Suburbs were expecting the kick from Cochrane. And as he's done on 3 occasions to put Manly in a position to score those tries, Cochrane has gone one way, dummied, pulled the ball back the other way, and he's had a runner onto it. This time it was Lyons on the blind side. And instead of going himself, he fed Davis, and no one there. So once again, we see the blind side exploited.
The siren's gone for half-time with Cochrane. This kick to level the scores. That almost seems an injustice, doesn't it? On 40 minutes of football, you'd have to say East were the better side for 3/4 of the action. But Manly, you give them any chance, bang.
That's what I said earlier, Jim. Rugby league's a game of taking your chances, and they certainly have. And you've got to put a lot of credit down to this guy that's lining up for the conversion kick, Cochrane. On through those 3 occasions, he's used Cleal twice, running down on the blind side. They're expecting him to kick. He switched the ball to Lyons on this occasion, and Davis won't get an easier try than that in all his football career.
Mal Cochrane. Let's see how he hits this one. That's a nice looking kick. Yes, what a great kick. And it's levelled the scores at half-time. 16 all here at Brookvale. What a fantastic first half of action we've had. 6 tries.
Well, we certainly got a thriller on in the second half. 40 minutes of excitement. Great weather, great conditions, and there'll be plenty of action to come.
Welcome back. Here come the Manly boys with referee Kevin Roberts, and settle back to enjoy some stirring action. If it's anything like the first half, it could be something like a 30-all draw out here at Brookvale Oval. Arthur Beetson getting back into position after a quiet half-time break in the dressing room. Debbie Spillane, of course, is over at the Commonwealth Games, so we're missing those great little half-time dressing room reports that she's able to give you. She'll be back in a couple of weeks. We look forward to seeing her when she returns with a smile on her face, no doubt.
Well, I'm certainly missing her, Jim.
All right, ready for the second half. Melrose to kick off. Down deep.
And I'd just like to say to all my relatives.
Arrested by the foot of Shearer. Cochrane's there, so's Blake. Down to Chalice. Lyons after him, can't catch him. Here comes Hasler, he gets him.
This is a vital period for both sides, Jim. Try to get the supremacy in the first 10 minutes of the second half. Maybe get a try on the board.
Hastings.
The other side may wilt.
Hastings. That's Patterson. Scored 2 tries in the first half. Now Hastings driving it down there again. Marty Gurr. Hegarty playing it. Cochrane feeds it to Daly. Good defence from Easts. Shearer. Cleal missed it. And he's going to play the knock on. Lions kicked it away from Eastern Suburbs. And that's the spot. Oh, look at that. Sam Coombs of St Ives. He's won 2 tickets to the grand final, and no doubt he'll give his other ticket to his little brother. The family show out here at Brookvale, Steve-O.
Certainly is, and with a smile like that, I hope he gives it to his brother.
That's Skillmaster. About 30 metres out. Mackay's ball from Prome. Hasler got him. Chalice, Hastings, Tessman, whoa! Jeez, he ran into Gibbs there and bounced off him. Those two are having a terrific go in the first half. Gibbs and Tessman. And now there's a penalty. It's about the 10th penalty in the game for that, holding the man down.
Well, I don't know whether this is just frustration in players, but... And what a hit. There's no doubt who came off second best. And I've no doubt what's going through the mind of Gibbs is say, next time, hang around, it'll be on.
I see Lyons walking all over Tessman, giving a penalty away. And Melrose is going to try and put East back in the lead. East, of course, led, what do they lead, 10-0, 16-6? And Manly, just extraordinary with the ball, just creates something from almost nothing, just individual brilliance in the side. They can do it. Just see how well East can contain them in the second half. Melrose, he's kicked it. 2 points ahead, 4 minutes into the second half.
It's those sort of silly penalties that either side are going to give away that could prove most valuable later in the game.
Shearer's kick. French plays it, Simpkins feeds it, and away goes Patterson. Hastings, Mackay. Unloaded to Hastings again, that's Hall. Gilmister. Melrose. Back to Gurr. Crowd calling for a penalty for lying on the man. The gun goes in at Stuart Davis. Manly slowly back into position. Blake's ball for Gibbs. Where's Tessman? He's trying to make the first tackle. Blake to Johnson. He knocked it on. He was a bit tentative.
Caught a little bit out of position here, Johnston, but yes, a good ruling by Roberts. Right hand got to the ball first. Ball was propelled forward.
Another Manly ball. They've had plenty of those. Cleal out in the backs. Remember, Larry McMillan came on in the first half. They've still got it alive to Marty Gurr. Second tackle from Tessman. That's Lyons. And the penalty this time against Simpkins.
Well, Leeds were lucky to get away with not giving the penalty away early because Tessman came in pretty late in the previous tackle. Here we can see Hastings all over the man with the ball. And I get the feeling now, Jim, that Manly have decided to use their forwards. They think that that's the way to go, down the middle.
That was Daly's pass, cleaned up by McMillan. You can see the move on. Still going forward with Lyons. The message from the dressing room is that Manly are going to use the bomb a lot in the second half. Let's see if they do. Cleal. They mightn't have to with some of the talented players they've got. Look at Cleal. Now what happened in there? He copped something in the tackle.
Well, Tessman went in with a swinging arm. Roberts actually gave Tessman a running warning. It really was a hard one. See here, Tessman, Warringah, and another Warringah.
Yep, he tapped him on the backside, indicating a bit of a warning.
Cleal doesn't need telling that there was a swinging arm. Unless the mosquitoes are pretty big at this time of year, Jim.
It's Lyons. 2 more tackles for Manly. Hasler, Blake. Cuts out Shearer. There's Gibbs. The last one. What priced the bomb? It's Blake's kick across the paddock to French. French knocked it. Look at Davis. Thank you. It's a try. Ha ha. Lucky bounce. But Stuart Davis was there for his second try of the game.
Well, it was a good kick. Kicked it out of the traffic. Now, whether Davis was onside is a bit dubious. French made a meal of it. Davis didn't. No entree size there. Full platter. 4 points. Now, as you can see, Davis is well in front. And once again, we see these new footballs. Well, they're likely to do anything.
Well, French didn't really commit himself to it. And as you said before, Steve-O, if they let him bounce, look out. You let any ball bounce, but those elliptically shaped footballs. Now back it behind the play there while Cochrane lines up the kick. Apparently Noel Cleale's injured. Cochrane's conversion is swinging straight and through. Great kick from Mal Cochrane. Manly back in the lead. Well, Manly in the lead. First time they've been in the lead. It was 16-all at half-time, and now they're in the lead.
Well, it really has been a case of the Manly trifecta. Cleale, Blake and Cochrane. They're the three players that's got Manly back into the game and in front.
Melrose is kicked. Now is Shearer. Just see how Cleale goes in the next few minutes. He wasn't looking too well after taking that knock and the tackle of Tessman earlier. Paulson's got the ball for Manly. Cochrane. Blake. Manly runners going ahead of Blake. Johnson a bit slow to the ball. Here comes Hasler. He's got him. Brian Johnson very tentative after that rolling ball. Chalice now.
You can't blame him, Jim, because you just don't know what this ball's going to do next.
McGahn.
I know what I'd do with it. Kick it right out into the ocean.
There's Tessman. They had a chance too to keep it going. Mackay. Hastings drives it down the middle. It's Shearer. And it'll be a scrum. Shearer lost it.
Well, Mackay looking at the referee, and he's every right to be, because Shearer did lose that ball. That should have been play on. I can't understand what Roberts was thinking there.
Here comes Shearer. Mackay was in there for the tackle. Here comes Mackay. Little sandwich job, and
The
it went
ball
loose.
slips out.
Yeah, play on. Well, Manly have won the scrum. A tight head to Manly. Lions to play it. Geez, they've won some ball from those scrums. And now Eastern Suburbs offside. They're getting stuck into Cleale. Penalties 9-4 to Manly. Manly ahead by 4 points. Cleale down again. Gibbs. Simpkins is down as Hasler goes ahead. Blake. Lions. The switch to Gibbs. Blake.
Well, there he is, Phil Blake. He's taking full control of this game, Jim. Having a cracker, really. He's getting himself into a position, giving him time, space, and a beautiful kick.
Well, the kicking game is always handy, but particularly with these peculiar new balls, it's even more valuable. Great uncertainty of the bounce. And as you heard earlier, the word from the Manly dressing room is they're going to put up bombs. I think any sort of kicks when they get down there in the last couple of tackles. It's Hall moving it out for Easts. So Easts have got to get back into the action here. They had a good lead twice in the first half. That's Mackay. Can they get back into it?
No two ways about it. They can, but they've got to get themselves organised. Hastings has to start going into the first man.
Mackay is hurt.
And using the talents of McGann out wide. Either just on the fringe of the ruck. And it's a different Manly defence in this second half. We saw in the first 20 minutes of the first half, they were all at sea.
Hastings kick and chase. The bounce for Melrose. Off his boot it went to Hegarty. And Melrose had been able to grab it or even give it a good reef downfield from there. It may have been on again, but Cochrane goes down in that tackle of Cromes and Halls. McMillan. Owen Cunningham's getting ready to come on for Manly. There he is. I think it'll be clear to come off. That's Hasler. Blake. Again for touch. Johnson's got it.
Good position by Johnson there, anticipating Blake, moving out wide and putting the kick through.
French.
Still plenty of time for Eastern Suburbs. 25 minutes of this game remaining. They haven't got to panic. They've got to get into their pattern that saw them score 2 good tries in the first half.
Easter got a replacement on. Brian Batiste has just come on the paddock. Another great bounce. Finds touch for Easts. Here comes Cunningham onto the field as East find touch. Look at the way this one bounced.
Just like Ray Illingworth.
Now Richie Paulson's come off. Clear's still on. Richie Paulson having trouble there. He injured himself before last week's game against Penrith and didn't play there. He's feeling for his ribs. And East get a penalty. Against Hasler. It's Mackay who was replaced by Batiste for Easts after that knock a few moments ago.
This is a situation where Eastern Suburbs have got to try to exploit that blind again.
Here's Johnson. Gilmister. Simpkins. Good ball to Horry. Horry Hastings about 5 metres from the line. East stirring it up. Hall. That's Gilmister. East trail by 4 points. Hall. Batiste. Patterson.
Well, the blind's a chance here. Shearer is limping badly on this blind side.
Hastings chip kick, and it's kicked dead by Dale Shearer.
Well, it was Johnny on the spot there, and you can see he's having a lot of trouble walking. But just in time. That was try. McGann knew where it was going. Shearer knew even better.
Cochrane's drop to Hastings. Strong tackle from Daly. Shearer in trouble with that ankle of his. Batiste to play it for Easts. That's Tessman. McGann, a runner. Johnson. Easts all bunched behind the ruck. It's Gilmister. Chalice. Last tackle. Now what's Horry going to do here? He goes for the bomb. It's going to bounce somewhere. Sideways, look out. French scores. French scores the try. The battle of the bouncing ball.
Put another try
east way. Look at this one.
Put another try down to this wonderful ball. And you can't blame the players for exploiting it. This was a good kick. Crossfield kick again. Beautiful ball here. And Davies all at sea. So's the ball. French isn't. Beautiful kick by Hastings. And the players know, even these 2 weeks that they've been playing with this new football, they know anything can happen.
So 22 all. 22 all at the moment, with the kick to come.
Well, it really is Rafferty's rules with this ball when it comes down to kicking. It certainly has improved the handling, Jim. Maybe that's why the league brought it in. Handling's good, avoid the kicking. But with a ball like that, they'll do it even more.
The balls that are more oval shaped, the conventional football, bounce with a bit more regularity. But these ones, when they hit the ground, there's a chance they can go anywhere. Normally sideways or backwards too. It's the long, narrow design of them. Okay, Melrose to put East ahead. He doesn't. Well inside the posts. 22 all, 20 minutes to go.
Still anybody's game. And I'm sure a few of those forwards out there are very tired. It's been a warm day. The shadow creeping across Brookvale. It's still quite humid out there.
Patterson ran into McGann. McGann's down. Patterson up a bit slowly too. French comes out. That's McGann.
Well, that could prove a very costly non-call. It's obvious that neither player shouted it's mine.
Gilmister plays it. Simpkins gives it to Hastings. Another ping downfield. They're making certain of it. Davis. I wonder if anyone's predicted a draw on Footy Tap. A 30-all draw.
I know I didn't.
It'll be a big dividend today, Steve.
My word, even at 22 all, it'll pay a big dividend.
It's Gibbs. Hasler. Cleel. Cleel shakes them off. Didn't he shake off Pro Measley? And he's back to halfway. So he seems to have recovered from the knock he took. Cleel, Hasler gives it to Gibbs. Last tackle for Manly.
Well, the battle between Tessman and Gibbs continues.
Look at Blake's kick. Running out towards touch. That's French. Johnson. Cunningham misses him. Here comes Cochrane. It's Melrose. Tessman. So Simpkins. Cochrane went for the intercept. Hastings. Gurr. It bounces. Happily for him this time. McGann up for the tackle. Just in Manly territory. Plenty of time left. Lions. Hasler. Cleo. Left it behind for Easts. McGann. That's Batiste. Tessman.
He's had a strong game. He's done a lot of work. And so has this hooker, Simpkins. But this is the man that can change the game. Hastings, he's having to control it out there and doing a good job at the moment.
Combs ball to French. Hastings again to Hall. They kept it busy, but Manly were equal to it. The last tackle. Melrose. Chalice. Handover. Haven't been too many of those in the game. Shearer and McGann. And Batiste. McMillan. That's Cunningham. Daly getting attention. That's Cleel's ball. Lyons gets it through Hegarty, knocked down by French. Lyons goes back to grab it and then dropped it. They clean it up with a scrum at 22 all, 15 minutes from time.
Well, it's not surprising a few mistakes are coming out. It's an awkward ball to get there for Lions. Did the wrong thing, actually. Should have dropped his body onto the floor first. But it's to be expected. It's been a pretty rugged game.
There's Blake. Hegarty, good ball. Shearer, stop, start, and away. Now he sprints straight down the touchline. Brian Johnson gets him. Oh, that was exciting, wasn't it?
Certainly was, from a player that was limping very badly 5 minutes ago, but didn't he stand him up here? And this is the reason why he's an international player. That really was great play. And just didn't have the pace. And equal to the task was a fullback, Johnson. Good football all round.
Well, Fulton's keeping Shearer on. He's been limping for a while. Chalice. Suppose if he can make a run like that when you're limping, worth keeping him on. But he's really hobbling a bit now.
I think it may have done even more damage. And I suspect it's that groin problem.
Gilmester with Prome.
Well, I'm sure Beetson would be telling his players to play to this wing, to Shearer's wing. He's really nothing more than a passenger now.
Simpkins, Hastings, that's Hall. Sets it up beautifully. Melrose pass, was it off the deck? No, play on. McGann, Simpkins, Gilmester, Hastings, from Patterson. It was knocked down by Manly. East should get it back. They have. Patterson, count starts again. And Manly, I think, feeling the pinch a little bit here. Some of their players a little leg sore.
Well, that was silly play by Blake. He realised he'd knocked on and should have brought the ball dead, but decided to kick the ball again. He would never have gained advantage.
Carry on after the whistle. He's called for the knock on. And he's asked them to knock it up too. It's that old spray again for Shearer's ankle. Manly ball. Hasler. 11 minutes to go. 22 all. Cunningham. Hegarty. Cochrane. Hasler. Blake. Cleel. Cleel sets it up for Marty Gurr. Davis. Lost it. French is on it. Simpkins. Hall with Melrose. Slammed down by Gibbs. Patterson. Hastings kick beyond Davis, looking for touch. It bounced in field. Well, that's where Eastern Suburbs want to be for the last 10 minutes. With possession, of course, but see what Manly do. Davis is hurt in the tackle. Another timeout in what has been a pretty rugged day. The old runners have been going flat out on and off the field, tending to injured players.
Well, the game has flowed from one end to the other. You have to feel a little bit sorry for some of those forwards. It was quite warm to start with, and the way that Tessman and Gibbs got stuck into each other set the sail.
You can see him indicating it's the first tackle there. As Daly goes up.
There's just 10 minutes remaining, Jim. I think it's going to go right down to the wire with some individual brilliance, say from Cochrane or Blake, or on the other side from McGann.
And someone's on the phone over there on the sideline, getting instructions from the man, Bobby. The clearance, a hurried one from Hegarty. Johnson. Manly have got it back. It's Cleel with it. McMillan deployed for Manly on halfway. 9 minutes left. Gibbs. Blake. Cunningham. That's Wayne Portlock warming up for the Roosters. Blake went for the flick and he gave it to Batiste.
Well, the idea was there, but Batiste knew what was going on. A little bit too fancy there, Blake. And I would have a tendency to bring Cleel back into the forwards, take him out of that three-quarter, playing out wide. It's the strength and speed of Cleel that they need. The forwards will be getting a bit tired.
That's Gilmister. Slung down by Larry McMillan. Prome. Batiste. Last one for Easts. 8 minutes to go. McGahn. For touch. And he finds it too. So the last few minutes, Eastern Suburbs have more than held their own here. Since that try they scored to level the scores. Now, Portlock is going to come on for Easts.
Well, I can't understand why they haven't taken Shearer off now. And also, I can't understand why the Roosters have not played to Manly's right wing.
Ryan Johnson replaced by Portlock. Hasler feeds it. Came out the same tunnel, I think, but he'll let it go. Certainly came out sideways for Blake to clean up. Hasler. Strong defence. It bumped the ball loose. That really was strong tackling by Easts again. Here's a show for them. Prome to Tasman. Prome again. Field goal from Hastings. It's there. Hastings kicks the field goal and they lead by a point. And Hastings immediately says, get back to the line for the quick kickoff. East in front.
Well, those people with a footy tab, 22 all, you can breathe the sigh of relief. But a beautiful kick here by Hastings.
Quick kickoff from Manly. French to trail it up. Well, last week we saw Penrith lead by a point and then Phil Blake scored a field goal. He could be the man if Manly can get the ball, of course. Melrose plays it. McGahn delivers to Hastings. He finds Hall charging ahead again.
They've only 6 minutes to do it in.
Batiste. What a good run. Support from Portlock. Look at this. This should be a try. Hasler giving chase, but he gives it unselfishly to Chalice, and he finishes it off, and Manly for the day. Eastern Suburbs lead by 5 points. That should be the ball game.
Certainly is, Jim. And you can put that down to a bad decision by coach Bob Fulton. Now Batiste goes through. He realises that Hasler, there he is. He can't chase anyone. Where's the speed? The gap's there. Hasler decided a beautiful pass out wide. And really, that really was a bad play. Dale Shearer, should I say. This is good play by Batiste. Had a strong game. Beautiful ball inside. And watch, there you see Shearer. Now they've been warming up this young kid, Paul Vinneberg, for 10 minutes. He's no good on the sideline. Neither was Shearer. And I don't want to take anything away from the way that Batiste ran through it, but I've been harping on to the fact that they had to come onto the right wing. They've done it for the first time, and they've won themselves the game.
Now, Melrose kick will certainly seal it. I mean, there's still an outside hope for Manly. They could conceivably score in the last minute or two of the game and win it. But if Melrose converts, it'll put East 7 points clear. And he's pushed it wide, just pushed it wide. So 5 points between them. It's coming down to the wire here at Brookvale. What a sensational afternoon's entertainment this has been for the fans. East lead 27-22.
Well, it's going to take some real brilliance from the Manly players to pull this one out of the fire. You've got to hand it to Eastern Suburbs. They raced away to a 10-point lead in the first half. Manly pegged them back by taking the few chances that came their way. And then when Manly did take the lead, it looked like East would fall apart. They haven't.
Tessman's down.
They've stuck to their guns.
Tessman's put in plenty today. He and Gibbs, look at them, they're still at it.
He's been one of the star performers for the Roosters, but very impressed with the second half display of Hastings. He took control at a time when it looked like the Roosters were getting shaky, falling apart. But his experience certainly shown today. Good kicking game.
That's Gilmester. Well, Manly just haven't had the ball in the last few minutes. And East's relishing this. Batiste, who came on as a second half replacement for John Mackay. It's been a big day for the Roosters. Tessman again had a terrific match. A lot of strong players out there for the Roosters. McGahn, kick charge down. Here's Hegarty. Heads back to the blind side. And it'll be a penalty against Tessman. With Paul Vinterberg, the man who replaced Shearer, held down. Okay, Manly, conceivably, you can win the game. First ball you've had down that end for a while. There's total confusion because what's happened, he's changed it. He's telling them to get back. This was on Warren Ryan's suggestion to Dennis Braybrook a few weeks ago that the referee stand back 10 and the touch judge on the mark. Did confuse the Manly players. Now they've got Lions charging ahead. 30 metres out, Manly. What have you got left, fellas? Cochrane. That's McMillan. We could have another hair raiser on the hooter here. McMillan going forward.
They've got to give it plenty of air, especially the way this ball bounces.
Cleo charging ahead. Pretty close to full time, Manly. Kicked ahead in the play the ball. Look out, Cochrane's there. Count should start again. He says that's the first tackle. He's telling them loudly so they know. Blake, he was going to kick it. There's no need yet. And it's a penalty to Manly. They need a quick tap. Quick tap kick. Cochrane straightens it. 8 metres out. Big chance for Manly to pull this out of the fire here. That's Blake's long ball. Vinterberg pulled down 20 out. Lions. Which way? Gibbs.
Let's not forget that last gasp try that was disallowed when Manly played Western Suburbs here a couple of weeks ago.
Hasler to Blake. That's Cunningham charging for a gap. Great tackle from Gilmester. He's got 2 heaps of them today. Gurr. That's Cleal. He can smash him. He loses it. And East fumble it, but French comes up with it. And that should be about it.
Well,
Manly had their chance.
That shocked me, Jim, that they didn't put the ball in the air. It's been proven all day. There it is.
There's the siren. And Eastern Suburbs, after being down 22-18, have come back in the second half for a memorable 27-22 win. Let's look at the details of the game. Horry Hastings there, the man of the match. A championship performance from him. And there you can see 5 tries to 4 and a 5-point difference with that field goal helping Eastern Suburbs to a win today.
Well, they certainly deserved the win, mainly through the efforts of Hastings because he settled them down. It was his experience that showed in that second half. There were some good performances from both sides, but I was very impressed with Hugh McGahn, Gilmeister and Brad Tessman. He really got stuck into things today. Gary Prome, some nice touches, and Brian Johnson certainly played well at fullback for the Roosters. For Manly, well, Phil Blake, Des Hasler, they tried all the time, but I thought that the Manly Warringah forwards, they just faded away late in the game. It was one of those games, a lot of running in it, very warm conditions, and I think that on the day, Jim, that mistake by Bobby Fulton will rue the day, because he really should have brought Shearer off. He was limping out there for 10 minutes, and as it proved, that was the vital try, and that's what tipped the scales in the end.
Hope you've enjoyed the entertainment out here at Brookvale. One of the best Saturday games of the year. A lot of tries. We saw 9 tries in all this afternoon. And remember, next week, it'll be Eastern St George from the Sydney Cricket Ground. Goodbye.